Representative Antonio Lujan. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Diana Salgado Dow. I'd like an extra minute or two because I don't read that fast, but anyway, I'll go as fast as I can. I'm a professional licensed counselor here in the city. I've dealt with elderly and preschool in private sector and public sector. I'd like to speak to you about the topic of domestic violence. Through my work and living in Las Cruces, I've seen that the victims of domestic violence get ignored when calls for help are made, but not in the way you might think so. We have a responsive and professional police force and programs which can help. So let me explain. Domestic violence is considered conflict in the form of aggressive or violent behavior between two adults. Most DV calls are not one-time occurrences. The officers see the same people over and over, not noticing or understanding the trauma that goes on before the officer knocks on the door or they arrive on the scene. The officers follow protocol of de-escalation, make arrests if there's evidence of bodily harm. Otherwise, they fill out a report and nothing is done because they cannot do anything about two adults choosing to fight, and the cycle of violence goes on. Children and families have told me of their hiding in the bedroom. As someone drops to the floor, they hear the screams, the thud on the floor. Police are called by neighbors. Children are warned not to say anything in fear of being taken away. And parents don't tell on each other for the same reason. The entire family is traumatized by repeated events. People come to the point they can't take the conflict, and either they fight or they check out with suicide because they don't know another way. As a therapist, as a required reporter of abuse, this is a very sad situation to me. Some may have physical marks of the fight, and others have emotional scars, but the cycle continues. In another DV case, we found out the gentleman was raised in foster homes, group homes, and hospitals after being taken from his parents as a child. The traumatized by removal from the home and later systems of restraint and punishment. He did the same to his partner. He lacked healing and emotional regulation skills. Fighting always started with verbal assaults, her trying to leave, and scratching and biting to get away from his restraint, taking away her car keys, and beating her car up instead of her because he knew better. She eventually went to jail overnight for leaving marks on him. Then, in hopeless attempts to escape the violence, she ended up in the hospital 2 times for attempted suicide. Through the experience of shared homes and separate homes, the violence followed all over town, along with more property damage, breaking and entering, and homelessness. 2 consenting adults labeled as domestic violence. I just have about another minute. Could I have another minute?
We'll give you 1 more minute.
Thank you so much. 2 consenting adults labeled as domestic violence with over 50 documented calls for help had no prosecutions, no treatment for the individuals. I pray that they get help and change the ending of their story before it is too late. I have also seen the positive effects of mandated interventions in DWIs, therapy for parents and children of child abuse. We have good programs. We want to keep families together. But I also pose a question to you for your consideration. How can we connect the services we offer in this community with the need for intervention? Allowing the fighting to go on and not have consequences of treatment is just not right. The city's individuals have been involved with or in the database. Let's just connect the dots of all these people and all these events that is multiplying to get them help and take down the barriers of those who are involved in domestic violence and labeled as such. So, thank you.
Ms. Delgado, you'll be happy to hear that District Attorney Gerald Byers and the City of Las Cruces are working together to try to see how they can assist, perhaps maybe even adding someone in staff here in the city to assist with the DA regarding domestic violence.
Terrific. It's a real need.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for listening.
Representative